Hunt Palmer with us every Friday here from the LSU Sports Radio Network. 7 o'clock tomorrow night is the kick. 5 o'clock those guys will take to the pregame show on the network.
If anybody can spin up an LSU win, surely it's the guy who works for state-controlled media.
Absolutely.
So, Hunt, you have to come. Now, tell us, why is LSU going to win this game?
That's my task this morning.
That is your task.
And that's Hunt Palmer from the LSU Sports Radio Network. Talk to you next week, bro.
It's going to be fun. This is fun. We just didn't – no one could have predicted that we were going to be in this situation. I mean, where it's a top 3 matchup in Tiger Stadium. It's going to be – it has the potential to be the best environment in the history of the stadium tomorrow. When you mix everything together, I mean, of course, we've all been there for great ones. We've been there for Florida in 97, go back to the earthquake game, the 2007 games, whatever. But this one's different. When you mix in the just – how badly Alabama has owned LSU since 11, and the Nick Saban factor where everyone doesn't like him, and then the Devin White thing, and there's just more emotion mixed into this one than there has ever been. And if LSU can hang around, it'll be a night that we'll always remember. But on the other side, if they don't, it could get ugly pretty quick.
Everybody see the hype video?
Shout out to the LSU Creative team. Follow them on Twitter at LSU Creative. They continue to raise the bar. Excellent job all around. Really good job of Ryan Clark reading that. I thought he nailed it.
Cody Worsham script, hat tip.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice job by Cody then. Excellent writing there, Cody.
All right, so tomorrow night, LSU to stay in the game, what do they have to do?
I go back to Matt's interview with Hugh Freeze. This was probably like a month ago.
Mm-hmm. Right before the Ole Miss game.
How'd you do it? How did you beat them twice? Said, well, we ran tempo. We didn't let them substitute, and we kept them in a vanilla defense. They weren't able to attack us defensively because we kept them on their heels. Now, if you're going to run tempo, you've got to be productive. You've got to get first downs, and you got to move the ball, especially through the air. So, I kind of look for a little bit of that. Same thing you saw against Georgia. Defensively, I've wrestled back and forth with this, and everyone's talked about it all week. I really believe, and T-Bob, I've heard you talk about this all week, I think LSU's going to try to cover them. I just don't think that they're consistent enough with the pass rush to try to bring that all night. I think they're just going to try to make Tua, as Mike Detillier said yesterday on Matt's show, throw it through the branches. Just put a bunch of guys back there that move really fast and make him throw it through windows. And maybe he can. Maybe he's that good. But maybe he can't, and he throws one where he shouldn't, and you make a game-changing play. I think LSU's best chance is probably to play coverage.
Yeah, I agree, and I'll be interested to see the kind of mixture between zone and man, and can Tua pick apart either? Because, right now Tua looks like he reads defenses better than any other quarterback in the nation. We'll figure out if that's true. I kind of just love that strength on strength. Like when you have two strengths like that meet, somebody's going to get revealed a little bit. Somebody's going to show weakness. Will it be DBU or will it be Tua Tagovailoa? So there has been a lot of talk about the defensive backs against Bama's wide receivers, against Tua. Is that your most important position group battle, or are there other areas that you're looking at?
I mean, in this game, I'm kind of looking at everything. That's fair. That's huge. Tua's decision-making and accuracy are lethal. But we're going to find out tomorrow. And I don't try to make huge sweeping judgments, but I think tomorrow I will after that game's over. You'll either say, this is truly one of the greatest offenses in the history of college football if they run up 45, 50 points on LSU. Or I'll be willing to say that LSU is now at a point where they can play with everybody if they do it tomorrow. I think it's a game where you can make massive sweeping judgments like that.
I know you always talk about this, Hunt, that during the offseason that fans follow this kind of pathway where you can be angry about stuff at first, but then you kind of talk yourself into things.
Yeah.
I'm having that emotional experience, but just compacted within a week here because a couple weeks ago I thought there was no chance, and then I was like, okay, I like the attitude of this team. I like how they're answering questions. And then you start watching the film, you're like, okay, it's pretty worrying, but there are a couple areas where I think LSU get advantage. But now the more I think about it, I don't know. I've done that thing where I've convinced my brain that there's just something in the water, that there's some sort of good momentum, the football gods. I don't know what it is. Jordy, I feel like you were on this high maybe a couple days ago.
I was. Lost some steam on it.
Yeah. No, and it waxes and wanes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, there's no doubt. I'm going to dinner with my parents tonight. I will have a couple too many drinks, and I will be irrationally confident
doubt,
at about
man.
10 o'clock tonight.
2
Like,
nights
I'll just be
ago.
like, oh, they are toast.
2 nights ago, I was like, they're rolling them. They're winning. Are you kidding?
He did. He came in here talking about it, but then honestly, that stuck with me, and I've just been like, and I'm looking at Coach O, and he seems so comfortable right now, and the team seems so comfortable in their
No, I get it.
skin, and
I see it. I hear it.
and like sweet hype videos. I just I'm
But-
buying in. And look, if there's ever a week where you just make a no risk prediction, everybody thinks Alabama's going to win on paper. That's
Right.
what all the experts, what everybody says. So screw it. Just say LSU's going to win. Just go all in on it. It doesn't matter.
Brought to you daily here by Emory Equipment Online. Hold that thought. EmoryEquipment.com. Up to $10,000 on cash rebates over there on Bobcat track loaders, skid steer loaders, mini track loaders, excavators, telehandlers, utility vehicles. You can find them all online at EmoryEquipment.com or at 12181 Airline Highway. Proud supporter here of Off the Bench. Remember, during storm season, they got you ready over there with all the grapples, all sizes, industrial route for storm cleanups. EmoryEquipment.com. All right, what were you saying?
This is one of those weeks where we've run, because we have 2 weeks to prepare for this game on radio every year, and so you've heard every stat you can possibly hear, but the stadium will know this, that Bama scored a touchdown on their opening drive in every game,
Yeah.
and LSU hasn't allowed a first quarter touchdown in 12 games.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
This is not since the Alabama game last year have they
Oh, wow.
allowed a first quarter touchdown. So if LSU can get a stop on that first drive,
I'm telling you, man.
it's going to be a madhouse. But
Put up
no
the
one else
dubs.
can do that. No one else has done that. They've gone right down the field on everybody. I'm about to write my game preview, and I'm about to look up at what point in the game throughout their first 8 games has Alabama been up 14-0. I think it's like really early, like within 4 minutes of game time.
I do know that if you just want to watch like the most intimidating opening sequence maybe I've ever seen, go watch the A&M game where the first play of the game, Mac has this incredible diving interception where he barely gets his hand under, like a guy playing linebacker shouldn't be that athletic, and they follow that up with an immediate Devontae Smith touchdown where at full speed Smith lays out and dives like what feels like 5 or 6 yards to catch that ball. So yeah, they've been fast starters.
ESPN hadn't even got the cameras running in the Arkansas game, and they were already up 7-0.
It's
Like that was
Tennessee, they
just-
were up 14-0 before they got to the 10-minute mark. So, I mean, it's just how much emphasis does LSU have to put on the start? And really what's been a debatable topic on sports radio and throughout the media is what LSU would do if they were to win the toss. Do you defer to the second
O's
half or do
already
you take
answered
the ball?
it. He answered it on his radio show and said, "Yeah, we're going to take the ball." And I don't.
Yeah, I wonder, do you think he was being honest there? I don't know if I'm taking it fully at face value.
I mean, I disagree with it, to be quite honest. I would rather know that I'm getting the ball to start the second half.
You don't like Smacker Miles?
I like Snacker Miles.
Okay, just checking.
I think she does a great job. I just disagree with her on this point. I think it's really well thought out, and I get the logic behind it.
Yeah,
But
definitely is.
I'm terrified of Alabama scoring right before the half and then getting the ball and scoring again, like those back-to-back possessions.
I just kind of think it's all kind of a moot point in the end. Like, yeah, there can be a slight advantage or disadvantage gained, but it's not going to decide the game. It's like Saban said. I hope the elected kick ass. Like, it's going to come down to execution, and if like Cud said, it is so weird how much could be gained momentum-wise just stopping him that first drive. Be the first team to do it. That's that early statement. It's like in a boxing match, the kind of first exchange. Maybe you hit a guy with a hook that he wasn't quite expecting. All of a sudden, he's taking you a little more seriously.
It's a real thing. Tua Tagovailoa has played in the highest pressure situation you can play, and he played in overtime in the
That's
national
fair.
championship game. But that was a 50-50 crowd. This will be a new experience for him. That's a fact. And communication is going to be difficult. We'll see how much it impacts him.
These are your people.
Yeah. I'm a huge Better Than Ezra fan. I just got to imagine there's something a little bit more fierce out there than this.
This doesn't get you ready to run through a wall?
Sure.
I feel like you're throwing a lot of shade over there, Miss Starkville. You can just
Look,
back off. This
I
song
asked
is
Musso,
awesome.
he didn't say that it would get you hyped up, but I asked him. I was like, do people here like this song? Like, I know Better Than Ezra, but I don't know this song.
I like it. Well, it's the
What did Musso say?
I think you were somewhere in the middle.
I think.
It's a fight song.
He was like, he said
Hey,
his response was, I saw them sing this live.
Musso, do you know
She's
the
got a good
fight song?
personality.
Does anybody in this room know the fight song by heart?
Yes.
Oh, you do, huh?
My mic's off. But yes,
Yeah, sorry.
I know the fight song.
All right,
I know
let's
the
see it.
alma
I don't know
mater.
if I can do it word for word.
Oh, I
but
can
yeah.
definitely do it word
All
for
right,
word.
let's see it.
I distinctly remember my dad teaching me the fight song in his in the car.
We used to make fun of freshmen because they could never remember it at the beginning because we'd have to sing it after the game. They'd always forget it.
Was that something that they had to have accomplished by a certain date of their freshman year? Like before you get to the first game, did they all have
Like
to know
their
the
pledges?
fight song?
No, I don't think so, actually. Because, I mean, you definitely go over it once during camp, but then after the game, we clown them because a lot of them still want to know it. I mean, there's a couple of tough lines in there.
What do you expect from the atmosphere?
Give it all your might
tomorrow
as you fight tonight. Keep the goal in view.
It's going to be incredible. I mean, a lot of people don't like when I bring this take to the table, but I believe it.
Put it on there.
I love hatred in sports, and
Yes.
this breeds it. And these people in this state, me included, hate that team and hate that coach, and we're sick of this. And the fans will bring it at a ridiculous level as long as LSU can stay in it, and that'll go through the entire game if LSU can stay in it, and they have traditionally. But we'll see if they can tomorrow. This looks like a different animal to me.
Just because of Tua?
Yeah, it's just a game. He's always had the best team, but he's just had a placeholder at quarterback. Jalen Hurts isn't any good. Blake Sims wasn't any good. Jacob Coker wasn't any good. McElroy and McCarron I thought were pretty good players. Tua's, I mean, he's going to run away with the Heisman.
I wonder if I would take Hurts over
Everybody
you just named, even over McElroy, McCarron, maybe.
I mean, if you have that defense, maybe. But if you're trying to score points, it's not close.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, wasn't he FCC Offensive Player of the Year?
Yes, but there was no basis in it. He just had such an elite supporting cast. He can't throw the ball.
That's every Alabama player. The whole is always greater than the sum of the Alabama parts because on any given Saturday, they're just better. But that is, like you said, that's where Tua separates, is that he just truly is
the year he won
incredible
SEC
in
Player
his
of the
own
Year,
right.
they came here and they hadn't scored into the fourth quarter. SEC Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, come on.
But yeah, look, all I'd say about Hurts is that when you had to have it on a third down or something, and Tua's, I'm not saying Hurts better than Tua at all. It's not all what I'm saying, but he was clutch. He was clutch. So whatever. We shouldn't even be talking about Hurts because it is about Tua. It's about trying to stop him this weekend.
Yep.
What's this LSU offensive line going to do though? Because that is by far the most concerning part of the game to me.
It is. This Alabama front is very good. Bugs has got some eye-popping numbers, and Moses is really good, and Mac's really good. They are, but I don't. It's not the same as the Jonathan Allen, Tim Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, that line that you just could not block them. I think it's one step down from that. I think LSU's got to get the ball out of Burrow's hands. And I also think that a big part of this game is going to come when Burrow drops back to throw and sees a lane. He's got to go get 7 yards with his feet. I feel that's the stuff that gives Alabama fits because it's not something you prepare for necessarily. You're prepared to cover the play, but when you break contain and you improvise, and Burrow's not a guy who's going to go get you 60, but he can go get you 7, and I think that's going to happen a good amount of times tomorrow.
You okay with Garrett Brumfield getting a start?
Yeah, because I know they've shown that if something's not working on the front, they'll just change it immediately. I mean, it took one series to get Jason Hines in there a couple weeks ago. If Brumfield's out there and he just can't go, they'll sub him. I mean, I trust the team to do that, but I do like Brumfield being out there. I like him as a veteran, and he's a guy who's been a starter for this team for now. This is his third year, so if he can go, I'd like to see him out there.
One position group that we really haven't mentioned at all, the running backs. You got about a minute, maybe less. Hunt. What do you think? Who's going to be the lead running back this game? Are we looking at Nick Brissett or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
I think it's just going to be 50-50 like it has been. I kind of prefer Clyde. I think he gives you a little more burst, but Brissett's run the ball really well. So I think both those guys are giving you a nice little punch.
Have a great call tomorrow, man.
Looking forward to it.
Enjoy the atmosphere. Hunt Palmer, the LSU Sports
so
Radio
LSU
Network.
wins?
I gave a prediction for the Florida game. I'm out of that business, so let's
That's
just not.
what I'm saying. It's risk-free. Just say they win.
No, because I said that before the Florida game and we lost, so let's not
I
say
see.
we
I
did.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
2 hours before kickoff tomorrow, LSU Sports Radio Network, 5 o'clock on Eagle 98.1 here in the local listening area, and right directly as the Tigers and Tide go final tomorrow night, right there on your same station that you listen to LSU football on. All right, Song of Purple and Gold presented by Capital Partners next to close it out